Pause from this material world that I think is designed to distract us from what really matters, and just taking account of...
This story has absolutely exploded. Forget the fabricated headlines and glossy PR spin. What's really unfolding between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively is far darker than anyone anticipated. The media would have you believe that Justin missed his deadline and Blake emerged victorious. That is simply not true. In reality, the judge has yet to rule on Justin's actual claims. His case was merely paused, not lost, as the court wanted Blake's legal fees addressed first. His right to appeal remains fully intact. So, no, Blake Lively has not won. Not even close. Here's the part the tabloids aren't reporting. According to recent filings, the entire smear campaign, from the leaked New York Times article to Justin being dropped by his agents, was allegedly orchestrated months in advance. At the center of it all was Blake Lively's own publicist, Stephanie Jones, married to a senior agent at W, the same agency representing Blake and Ryan. Jones is accused of coordinating a career ambush again. Just before the New York Times piece was published, Justin was abruptly dropped by his agency and abandoned by his podcast co-host, all on the same day. Coincidence? Highly unlikely. This appears to have been a calculated Hollywood hit job. And now the evidence is coming to light. It gets even messier. Behind closed doors, both Justin's and Blake's teams had agreed to a truce. No leaks, no negative press, no public drama. Everyone knew that the film It Ends With Us was under intense scrutiny. The plan was straightforward: promote the movie while handling legal matters privately. Yet Stephanie Jones allegedly broke that agreement. Driven by ambition and desperate to retain relevance, after losing top clients such as The Rock and Chris Hemsworth, she reportedly began planting stories. She is said to have contacted Daily Mail reporters, feeding them material designed to portray Justin and his team as unstable, unprofessional, and toxic. The leaks caused chaos. Sony panicked, Justin's partners at Wayfair were alarmed, and meanwhile, Blake's team went nuclear, accusing Justin's side of instigating the drama, when in reality, it was Stephanie Jones pulling the strings. But once the walls began closing in, Jones allegedly panicked. She did not take responsibility for her actions. Instead, she reportedly sought to protect herself by throwing everyone else under the bus: Blake's team, Justin's team, and even her own staff. This betrayal triggered a chain reaction: stolen phones, leaks, and alleged illegal data transfers, which could now result in criminal charges. And this is where matters take a criminal turn. According to Jennifer Abel's amended complaint, Jones didn't merely spread gossip. She allegedly stole private data from an employee. When Abel informed Jones that she was leaving to start her own PR firm, Jones reportedly snapped. She is said to have sent a security guard, a lawyer, and a forensic data technician to seize Abel's work iPhone. They claimed the device needed a reset, but that was a lie. Instead, they allegedly raided the phone, gaining access to private texts, client communications, and confidential materials. From coordinated leaks to the alleged theft of sensitive information, this story exposes a web of manipulation, deception, and potential criminal activity lurking behind Hollywood's glossy image. This goes far beyond mere PR sabotage. It appears to have been an aggressive campaign targeting careers, reputations, and personal data. While the headlines may suggest that Justin Baldoni was the one falling behind, the reality is far more complex. This seems to have been a calculated scam, high-stakes strategy orchestrated from the top of Hollywood's power ladder, and it is only beginning to unravel. Communications about It Ends With Us and related matters were allegedly intercepted. Justin Baldoni and the entire Wayfair team are said to have had private messages accessed. And guess who reportedly received them? Blake Lively. According to court filings, Stephanie Jones allegedly transmitted private messages from Jennifer Abel's work iPhone to Blake, who is said to have shared them further, including with the New York Times. This means sensitive texts, obtained without consent, may have been used to fuel the very article that tarnished Justin Baldoni's public image. Imagine it, a smear story built on stolen communications. This isn't PR. It's sabotage. And it didn't stop there. Just a month later, a suspicious lawsuit appeared, seemingly designed to subpoena the same phone records, giving the theft a veneer of legality. This was no accident. It was a setup, and Blake Lively's team was reportedly at the center of it. Now, Jennifer Abel's amended lawsuit has been filed, sending shockwaves through Hollywood. The documents reveal a trail of manipulation, data theft, and betrayal that could expose the inner workings of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' PR apparatus. According to the filings, the Vanson lawsuit, the one that suddenly accused Justin Baldoni's company of fostering a toxic workplace, was allegedly fabricated solely to access Jennifer Abel's stolen phone and the private data within it. A fake lawsuit, fake victims, all allegedly to cover up a crime facilitated by Blake's own team. Jennifer's lawyers claim there is evidence of communications between Stephanie Jones, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Blake's legal team at the powerhouse firm Furman. If confirmed, this crosses the line from a PR scandal into potential criminal liability, conspiracy, privacy violations, and possibly millions in damages. The most chilling aspect is that the entire campaign, the smears, leaks, and hit pieces, painted Justin Baldoni as the villain, while the real orchestrators operated behind Blake's polished public image. Hollywood sought to make Justin the problem, but the emerging evidence tells a very different story. And if Blake Lively appears ruthless, wait until you consider Ryan Reynolds' behind-the-scenes maneuvers. While Blake plays the public victim, Ryan has allegedly been quietly running interference, controlling headlines, twisting narratives, and ensuring Justin appears to be the instigator. Recall the 2021 interview where Ryan claimed Blake was overlooked for her writing contributions due to sexism. That was not a feminist statement. It was damage control. If Blake had truly contributed, Ryan could have credited her. Instead, he shifted blame onto the industry for his own decisions. This was never about equality. It was about ego and image management. Ryan's history reinforces this pattern. He has often been criticized for avoiding female directors while curating the perfect husband persona. Meanwhile, Blake allegedly targets women, journalists, PR representatives, and even the wives of men she opposes. Behind the scenes, it operates like a Hollywood monarchy. Ryan controls the narrative. Blake enforces it. And anyone who crosses them risks being burned. Justin Baldoni, Jennifer Abel, and Melissa Nason all reportedly faced near career-ending fallout simply for standing up to this power couple. Yet the very infrastructure Ryan built to shield Blake may now become their undoing. Then there is Colleen Hoover, author of It Ends With Us, whose silence has drawn attention. For months, she avoided commenting on the chaos surrounding the film adaptation and related legal battles. Last week, however, she broke her silence on Facebook. "It's been a rough year," she wrote. "I wish people knew my side, but if speaking up means speaking down about someone else, I'll just stay quiet." On the surface, this seems noble, but in context, her silence only deepens the uncertainty surrounding the campaign against Justin Baldoni and the alleged manipulation by Blake Lively's team. It raises questions about loyalty, influence, and the pressures of Hollywood when powerful figures are involved. Taken together, these revelations paint a portrait of a system in which private information is weaponized, public perception is manipulated, and careers are jeopardized to protect a Hollywood image. The allegations extend far beyond standard PR tactics. They suggest a carefully coordinated effort to control narratives, silence critics, and punish anyone who interferes with the power couple's objectives. For Justin Baldoni and those around him, this is not merely a legal battle. It is a struggle against an orchestrated campaign of deception and intimidation, one that threatens reputations, personal safety, and the integrity of the justice system. ... Because let's be honest, remaining silent while someone's career is being destroyed isn't about protecting your mental health. It's about protecting the villains. Colleen Hoover's refusal to speak out is not neutral. It allows Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds to continue controlling the narrative, while Justin Baldoni, the man who actually built It Ends With Us from the ground up, is cast as the enemy. The irony is striking. The film itself is floundering. Critics describe it as flat, awkward, and soulless, while some fans have even labeled it karma. Hollywood may shield its favorites, but when the truth leaks, even the most polished facade begins to crack. Right now, Blake's carefully curated empire is starting to crumble, and every new filing, leaked message, and exposed lie removes another mask. The bigger picture is chilling. According to Jennifer Abel's legal filings, the explosive New York Times story that smeared Justin Baldoni may have been built on illegally obtained messages. Private texts were allegedly stolen from Abel's iPhone by Stephanie Jones, Blake Lively's publicist, and passed to Blake, who reportedly shared them with the Times. Imagine that, the nation's most trusted paper, potentially publishing a story based on stolen communications, targeting a man who had not yet had his day in court. Once that story ran, events tumbled like dominoes. Justin lost his agency, his podcast co-host abandoned him, producers pulled out, and Hollywood seemingly turned its back, all based on material that might have been stolen. The media did not question it because Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds were the source. The golden couple was untouchable, unchallengeable. This was not reporting, it was manipulation, a PR hit masquerading as truth. Now, with legal filings exposing exactly how those leaks occurred, the press is panicking. If it is proven that the texts were stolen and weaponized, the New York Times could face serious legal consequences. Far beyond mere embarrassment, the story Hollywood tried to bury might now bury them instead. This is what real Hollywood power looks like. Not actors, not studios, but publicists. And no one played that game more ruthlessly than Stephanie Jones, Blake Lively's fixer, gatekeeper, and, according to recent filings, the architect of Justin Baldoni's public takedown. For years, Jones was omnipresent. A-list clients, massive endorsements, red carpet domination. But behind the scenes, her control was beginning to slip. By 2023, even Stephanie Jones' biggest clients, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Chris Hemsworth, Jeff Bezos, and corporate giants such as Ocean Spray, had abandoned her. Her influence was collapsing. What did she do? She lashed out. According to Jennifer Abel's lawsuit, Jones created fake social media accounts to harass former employees and journalists, targeting writers from Puck and Variety who dared question her. Her most serious alleged crime, however, occurred within her own company. When Jennifer Abel attempted to leave, Jones reportedly sent security personnel to seize her iPhone, the very device containing private communications about Justin Baldoni and the It Ends With Us team. That phone became a weapon, and its data became ammunition. According to the filings, Stephanie allegedly handed the private information directly to Blake Lively, who reportedly used it to further her own interests and manipulate the narrative against Justin Baldoni. What began as a personal vendetta evolved into a full-blown Hollywood scandal, blending power, PR, and the alleged misuse of stolen information. From silencing Colleen Hoover to orchestrating leaks, controlling the press, and weaponizing private messages, every move paints a picture of a calculated, ruthless operation designed to protect image, punish dissenters, and manipulate public perception. As these revelations continue to surface, the cracks in the carefully maintained Hollywood facade are becoming impossible to ignore. Blake Lively's camp is finally facing consequences. Lawsuits are mounting, clients are fleeing, and industry connections are scrambling for cover. The very woman who built an empire on fear, manipulation, and control is now watching it unravel. This time, no glossy PR stunt can patch the cracks. For years, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively sold the public a carefully curated fantasy. The perfect couple, the jokes, the selfies, the marriage goals, the viral headlines. But behind that flawless mask was a duo obsessed with control, revenge, and preserving their brand at any cost. Now the cracks are showing. The filings from Jennifer Abel and evidence linking Stephanie Jones to stolen data have forced the industry to confront the truth. Hollywood insiders are whispering what fans are beginning to see. Ryan and Blake's empire was built on lies. Ryan's nice guy image was pure PR. He's been accused of blocking female directors from his projects and taking credit for work that was not his, including parts of Blake's so-called script contributions. When he publicly framed Blake being overlooked as sexism, it was not a feminist statement, it was manipulation. Meanwhile, Blake reportedly targeted every woman who crossed her path: journalists, publicists, and even the wives of men she disliked. Every move was calculated to make her appear untouchable while everyone else paid the price. And now, the public is catching up. Blake's film It Ends With Us is floundering. Critics are calling it flat, awkward, and soulless. Audiences are no longer buying the America's Sweetheart act. The golden couple's shine is fading, and the world is beginning to see what Justin Baldoni saw all along. Behind the charm, the smiles, and the PR-perfect image lies Hollywood's most toxic duo. Here's where the story comes full circle. For nearly a year, Justin Baldoni was portrayed as the villain, the arrogant director, the troublemaker, the man who fell from grace. But the truth is emerging, and it is harsh. Justin was not the aggressor. He was the target of one of the most ruthless PR takedowns Hollywood has ever witnessed. Every fake headline, every planted rumor, every so-called insider account traces back to a small circle devoted to protecting Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. A circle built on fear, silence, and lies. But that system is cracking. Jennifer Abel's lawsuit lays out the receipts, the stolen phone, the illegal data, the sham lawsuit designed to legitimize theft. All of it is now on the record. If the evidence holds, Blake's carefully constructed empire could collapse overnight. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni possesses something Blake never will: integrity. He stayed focused, relied on the truth, and allowed the legal process to reveal reality rather than letting tabloids dictate the narrative. And it is working. Hollywood is beginning to recognize who the real victims are. This is not just Justin's redemption story. It is the unraveling of an illusion, the end of the perfect couple fantasy, the facade that Blake and Ryan believed could rewrite reality. When the truth finally comes to light, even the brightest Hollywood spotlights cannot hide the darkness behind them. The very empire they built to manipulate perception is being exposed for what it truly is: fear, deceit, and power wielded recklessly. For those weary of fake headlines that protect the powerful while destroying careers, this is where to pay attention. The real receipts, the legal filings, the hidden communications, they are all coming to light. In Hollywood, lies may dominate for a while, but the truth has a way of catching up. And when it does not merely expose the targets. It shatters the illusion and reveals the real story behind the headlines. In this town, truth is the ultimate rebellion.